Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing my June wrap up. I'm going to be reviewing all the 9 books that I read in the month of June. If you're new here, how I do my wrap ups is I start reviewing the books that I like the least, and then I work my way up to the books that I like the most. So I start with rants and then I end on raves. So June was quite the month. I was in a massive reading slump, which 9, you'll see what I mean by that. Books is a lot. That's like a lot for the average person. And I think it's so annoying that I'm sitting here claiming that I'm in a reading slump, but a lot of them I did do audiobooks for, and I really prioritize like the books that I have to read for Patreon. So like I do force myself to read those books, and then I did do some audiobooks. So I mean, I was reading, but I just felt like everything that I was picking up, I was putting down. I DNF'd so many books. If you saw my weekly wrap up that I did earlier in the month, I was just not feeling anything. I really have just been trying to pace myself and find books that I'm interested in reading, and sometimes I have to like pick up a book, read a couple chapters and put it away, and then pick up another book, read a couple chapters and put it away, and just continuously do that until I find a book that I want to keep reading and finish. So I am going to start with my 1-star books. The first 1-star was the new Riley Sager book, With a Vengeance. Yes, another Riley Sager book that I tried and absolutely hated. Are we surprised? No. If you have been here a while, Riley Sager is like my worst enemy. We're like frenemies because I used to like his books, and his books have just been so downhill, and this one is no exception. I have an entire rant review, either my dog again. Okay. Ooh, your hair. Oh, girl, what are you doing? You're knocking pillows to the floor. Can you sit down, please? Thank you. I have an entire rant review about this book. I don't know which video will be going up first, so if it's out already, I will leave it linked up above and down below. If it's not out already, that's coming very soon. So I'm not gonna get into this one. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. This is Agatha Christie. My friend called this Temu Agatha Christie, and I couldn't agree more. This is Temu Agatha Christie train mystery, plot hole central. I don't even want to think about it. I just filmed the rant review, and I can't keep thinking about it. Like, my blood pressure is going up. My next 1-star read was Death in Her Hands by Oteza Moshfegh. I am shocked. I really love Oteza's books. I don't know what this was. I was so excited to read this. It's this older woman. She finds a note. She's walking her dog, and she finds this note that's like, here lies this girl's dead body. I didn't do it. And there's no dead body there. She's like, where did this note come from? Was there a dead body here? And she starts spiraling, okay? That's this book. She starts spiraling about who the killer could be, where the body could be, and it's basically just an elderly woman spiraling about absolutely nothing the entire book, and that's it. It's just a book about nothing. I do feel like if you like these fever dream sort of books, maybe you like Bunny by Mona Awad, books that I typically hate. I freaking hate Bunny by Mona Awad. You might like this book, like if you're into that like weird, just rambling nonsense. If you're into rambling nonsense, check out this book. No, but if you just like that fever dream, rambly, what the fuck is going on, you might like this. This was her worst book, in my opinion. I hated every second of it. Yeah, not a fan. My 2-star book was my Patreon book club book. My Patreon, as always, is linked in the description box down below, as well as all my social media and Amazon storefront. Any way that you can support my channel is linked down below. And we decided to read another Lisa Taddeo book. We loved Animal, and this one is nonfiction. So Lisa apparently followed these 3 women for 8 years to study like women's desire, like sexual desire. And so we're following the story of these 3 different women, and I just kept wondering what the fuck the point of this book was, because we're following a girl who was groomed by her teacher. So we're following like her story in high school and then afterwards, and the courtroom scenes and like what happened with the case, and we're following this story pretty in-depthly, but then we have these 2 other stories switching like chapters, and one is about a woman having an affair and doesn't feel like sexually desired by her husband, and then the other one is married and she sleeps with other people because that's what her husband likes, so they're kind of like swingers, and their chapters are so seldom. It's like, what the fuck? There were just a few chapters here for this one, a few chapters here for this one, and we're mainly following Maggie, who was groomed by her teacher, and it just felt so all over the place, very boring throughout a lot of it. And I just kept thinking, what the hell was the point? Especially with these 2 women thrown in there, it was awkward. I just felt like the one story was, you know, Maggie's story. I felt like she like deserved her own memoir, or maybe Lisa could have like ghostwritten it or whatever. They could have worked together on a book. I just felt like the other 2 were like filler. And I was like, what is the point? I don't know. I don't know about this one, but the rest of my thoughts will be discussed during the Patreon live show tomorrow. I am curious to hear what other people think. A lot of 2 stars were going around the Discord. Yeah, this one was a flop. Moving into 3-star books, Choke by Chuck Palahniuk. My dog. Are you done? Okay, thank you. This one here is about a man who pretends to choke on food at restaurants so people feel indebted to giving him money for the rest of their lives after they save him. If you think that it seems backwards, it's because it is. I'm like, shouldn't he be the one sending them money? But for some reason, these people felt inclined to send him money forever to like check up on him. I don't know. He scams people by pretending to choke. Okay, that is this book. Snow, do not throw Baby Yoda at the camera. And in this book is also a sex addict. So we're following a book about addiction and the need to feel loved and accepted. And there's a lot of themes and commentary and kind of like rambling in this book. And it wasn't my favorite Chuck Palahniuk. A lot of people love this book. I just kind of felt very indifferent about it. I felt like it was really long, like unnecessarily long, and lots of the author's kind of rambling commentary in there, which drug the book out. I just kind of felt very meh about it. Like, parts of it were really funny, parts of it were really vulgar, like in a way that just felt gross to me. I don't know, like over the top gross for the sake of being gross in some scenes. I do have an entire review up on Patreon for this one. It was my vlog for the month, so I do have some like more in-depth thoughts, but yeah, overall, I could take it or leave it. Then my next 3-star was Notes to John by Joan Didion. These are letters that Joan wrote to her husband, John, basically transcribing her therapy notes, like her notes with her psychiatrist, and what they discussed during those sessions, mainly regarding her daughter, who was an alcoholic and had BPD. And so she was trying to navigate like a relationship with her daughter and how to help her daughter and how to talk to her, etc. So the notes were basically just, you know, her talking to her psychiatrist about her daughter and what to do, and then telling her husband about it. That's this book. Do I think it was anything like life-changing or amazing? No, we're literally just reading like journal entries and letters. Maybe it didn't hit as hard because I'm not a parent. I don't really know. But it's just another one, I could take it or leave it. Like, I'm glad that I read it because I do love Joan Didion, and I'm slowly like making my way through all of her books, and I love her nonfiction. So, I mean, I'm glad that I read it. Is it something I necessarily needed to read? No. My 4-star book was Thirst for Salt by Madeline Lucas. This is a book, it's like an unrequited love story. So sad. This book is so sad. So we're following this girl, I believe she's in her 30s now, and we're basically following the story of this past relationship that she had with an older man. So when she was in her early 20s, she was dating this man in his 40s, and she's reminiscing on that relationship, kind of what happened and where things ended up. And now, like, in present day, she's seeing him online, like with a family. So we're literally just reminiscing on that past relationship with the two of them together. And it is so deeply sad. I mean, like, the yearning, that deep feeling of sadness and despair, that gut-wrenching feeling of like seeing someone that you used to love, that you still love, like with someone else, starting a family with someone else. Snow has Baby Yoda out, and she's so distracting right now. Just that gut-wrenching feeling of like seeing someone else move on, and like maybe you haven't totally moved on. Just following this story, and you know, how the past shapes us into the person that we are in present day, and that longing for the past. This was such a beautifully written book. The writing reminds me of Animal by Lisa Taddeo. Like, I feel like if you liked that book, you would probably like this book. It's that slow, character-driven, just like deeply sad literary style of writing. I don't know how else to explain this. I just feel like if you are looking for a slow burn, character-driven book, this is the one. I do feel like this contributed to my reading slump though, because I mean, this like actually made me so deeply upset that I didn't want to read. I was like fucked up from this book. I don't know what it was. The writing, the actual writing of the book is what made me upset. I just can't explain it. It just has this deep sadness to it that just really got me for some reason. And as you can tell, like, I tabbed a bunch. It was very relatable to me. Didn't quite feel like a full 5-star read to me though. I don't know what it was, but I really loved it. Highly recommend. Then moving into my 5-star books. Listen, there's a new man in town. Kafka. I am a Kafka girl, okay? Everyone knows I am obsessed with Franz Kafka. And I read the Metamorphosis again, read it twice. This is the Metamorphosis and Other Stories. I haven't read this full book yet, but I did read the Metamorphosis from here. So I'm just going to talk about it because it is a separate novella. So The Metamorphosis, if you're unfamiliar, it's basically a man who wakes up one morning and he's transformed into a giant insect. That's the book. And he's like, oh my God, his first thought is, oh my God, I'm gonna be late for work. He's panicking about work. And it's this commentary of work culture, being a corporate slave, how people only view you as useful depending on your productivity level. And then he lives with his family. He's the provider for his family, and his family is so mean to him because they can no longer like mooch off of him and his money because he can't go to work because he's a giant bug. Yeah, so it's basically this play on like people only love you when you're useful to them, how I especially found like the chronic illness metaphors in this so relatable because like I'm chronically ill, I have endometriosis really bad, like I deal with debilitating chronic pain, and I related to this book so heavily. I think that's why I'm giving this book 5 stars, because I related so heavily to, you know, feeling like a burden and feeling like you can't contribute that much to society, or like you can't contribute to your loved ones, and just feeling like people only love you when it's useful to them, and when people make you feel like a burden, and just how love is conditional. That hit close to home for me. There's also this like absurdist sort of exploration to this book of how life and human suffering has no meaning to it, and there's no rhyme or reason for suffering. I really, really, really fucking love The Metamorphosis so much. So then I read Letters to Molina by Kafka, and this is one of my favorite books of all time, okay? These are letters that Kafka wrote to this woman, Molina, who he was in love with, and basically she was his translator. She translated some books for him, and he ended up falling in love with her. She lived in another country. She was married, and he started writing these letters to her every day, ended up falling in love, and they couldn't be together, obviously because she was married, but she was debating on like leaving her husband and moving at one point, but also because of distance, and he had tuberculosis. I think she also had tuberculosis, and also just like his fear of intimacy. It's like one minute he's like, oh, we can't be together, I need to stop writing to you, this is the only thing this is doing is like destroying me because we can't be together. And then the next minute he's like, I'm getting my passport so we can come be together. Like he's so like disorganized attachment, very relatable to me. And this was just such a cute, beautiful, sad book. I mean, look at how much I tabbed. This is putting me on one of those like dating red flags lists. You know how like they come out with those articles, if you love these 10 books, you're a red flag. This is going to definitely land me on one of those lists. I loved this so much. This was so deeply, deeply relatable to me and my life. And listen, it's just falling in love with the fantasy of a situation, not even knowing if you're going to actually love each other in person because they've only met a few times throughout their correspondence, and then like he eventually ended up dying. So it's like, yeah, there's just this fantasy of this situation, and I feel like this almost kept him going because he was so mentally ill and so deeply depressed. And this just, it's looking for something in life that keeps you going, right? So in his case, the reason that he kept going, the reason that he found a little bit of joy in life was waiting for the mailman every day with his letter from Molina. Okay, writing a letter to Molina every day, keeping in contact with her. It's like these fantasies and these moments in time that just kept him happy and kept him going and kept him from completely crashing the fuck out. I mean, he was crashing the fuck out over his doomed love affair, but just, I think that's just the main takeaway from this book, right? These little moments and these people that we meet in our lives that just keep us going. Fucking relatable. And my favorite book of the month and of the year was this book here. It's upside down. Banks Leads the Way. So this is my friend Banks the Bat here wrote this book. Someone sent this to me and sent me this book and said that this was going to help me get out of my reading slump, and it did, okay? Because this is, it's upside down again. This is the most beautiful book about friendship and leadership, and Banks helped lead his friends out of the thorn bushes. Yeah, see, they were all tangled up in thorns, and then he felt really bad because he was supposed to be leading them, and he got them all wounded, and they were like, it's fine because the power of friendship prevails, and like, that's it, the end. I just felt like this was such a stunning debut novel, just a really beautiful, beautiful story, and I just feel like leadership and friendship are such important topics that are such near and dear topics to my heart, and I am just so proud of Banks the Bat for writing such a stunningly beautiful book that helped me get out of my reading slump. So yeah, that is it. Those were the 9 books that I read in the month of June. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these and if you loved them, or let me know what your favorite book you read was in the month of June, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.